Well, folks, here we are again for the weekly forecast. And before we get to the main forecast, let's take a brief look at what happened during this past week. Really not much in the way of any significant moisture. We did see the warm temperatures early during the first half of the forecast period, and then as we got into the midweek, we had one weak cold front move through that did drop some isolated scattered thunderstorms around portions of eastern Nebraska, and a much more significant cold front moved through during Thursday night into yesterday morning. That did drop some more isolated thunderstorms across eastern Nebraska, but unfortunately much of western Nebraska left high and dry. Now, we are enjoying the cool weather, and we don't really have a lot of significant moisture in the forecast. There is a slight opportunity as we move into the midweek. We are going to see temperatures zoom back up as we go through the weekend, and then as we get into the early part of next week, we will start to pay attention to a cold front dropping back down through in the midweek period. That'll bring us back down to more seasonable to possibly below normal temperatures. So let's take a look at the upper air models and see what we have in store as we move through this next 7-day period. And I'll draw your attention to the upper air trough that was responsible for the cold air moving into our region. It's now moved over the Great Lakes, but we're still going to see some residual effects today. It's going to be a very enjoyable day across eastern Nebraska. We'll be looking at highs that will primarily be right around the mid-70-degree mark. As you get into extreme western Nebraska, we're probably looking more in the mid-80s as that is closer to the periphery of this high pressure system. Now, as we go into tomorrow, what we are going to see is that ridge starts to build its way back in, and so our temperatures are going to boost up rather dramatically. We'll be looking at temperatures probably around the mid-80s across the east. And as we get into western Nebraska, with a little closer to the periphery of the ridge, we'll be looking at the highs around 94 to 95. Now, as we go into Monday, we'll start to notice a trough coming in the Pacific Northwest, and we're going to have a southwest flow, some very warm temperatures moving into the region. We're looking at highs in the upper 80s across the east. As you get into western Nebraska, we'll probably push in the 100-degree mark. We might actually break an isolated thunderstorm during the late afternoon hours. Now, as we go into Tuesday, we'll see that trough start to make its way down, and we're trying to push some cooler air southward. So we'll see a temporary cooling down in the north to around 83 degrees. As we get into the southern part of the state, we're probably going to be in the low to mid-90s. And there may be, again, a chance for some scattered thunderstorm activity breaking out as we get into Tuesday evening. Now, our best chance of moisture is going to come during the day on Wednesday as this cold front tries to push through the state. We'll be looking at highs in the north somewhere around the upper 70s. As you get into deep southern Nebraska, we'll be looking at the mid-80s again with our best chance of moisture during the 7-day period. Now, as we go into Thursday, we'll notice that energy is still hanging in there, so there might be some chances for some residual thunderstorm activity, potentially even some well-deserved accumulations in western Nebraska. We'll be looking at highs in the north right around 69 to 70. In the south, east, we'll be looking at highs around 74. As we go into today, Friday, the warm air starts to make its return. We're looking at highs in the east around 74. In the west, we'll be pushing up the mid to upper 80s. 8 to 14-day forecast indicates warmer temperatures with that ridge building in, and unfortunately, with a ridge building in, it looks like below normal temperatures are in store from next Thursday through the following Tuesday.